It is late Saturday night, and the portal is glowing orange. Now, there is a 2 times Sacred Shard event going on, but as you may know, as an end game free to play player, I don't always pursue these 2 times Sacred Shard events anymore. I usually use my Sacred Shards for fusion events and Titan events. And the reason is pretty simple. There aren't that many non-void legendaries that would massively move the needle on my account at this point, and I can get the ones that I need, say, by you pulling ancient shards or whatever during champion chases during fusions. Or, I pull the sacred shards during fusions as well. So I'm not really in a need of a lot of legendaries, or non-void legendaries at least. However, I noticed this boosted summons. This is the first, you've probably been looking at this all day and you're like, yeah, of course, we knew this was here. But I didn't know about this guy. I didn't know about Uzol of the Jade here. So I'm just looking at him. I'm going over his kit. And he's got this extra turn thing on the A1. He's got this extra turn thing on the A2. These effects cannot be resisted if the skill is used on an extra turn. I'm like, okay, it's all right. Attack-based, legendary. I don't really need attack-based champions. I don't really need nukers that often. He's not a great affinity for an arena nuker. It's not a bad affinity for a PvE nuker that you could always use every affinity. But then I got to the A3, and this will ignore shield, block damage, unkillable, and stone skin, and 100% of the target's defense if the skill was used on an extra turn or an instant turn. And I instantly thought of Shu Zhen because I have her, I use her in live arena all the time, and she's got an instant turn mechanic. So this guy would basically ignore everything that you need to ignore. I'm wondering, I guess you're not ignoring strengthen, but whatever. Like, you're ignoring the shields, you're ignoring block damage and unkillable, and you're ignoring stone skin. Those are the things that you need to ignore in live arena. And 100% of the target's defense. So even if he's weak hitting with no defense on his target. And if his multipliers are any good, this could be an absolutely massive nuke. So I liked this ability. And then I saw this as well. If an ally had a chance to gain an extra turn, it increases that chance by an additional 5%. And I try to think of champions I use that have a chance of an extra turn, and there aren't that many of them. I mean, there are out there in the game, probably several, but I don't use that many that have a chance of an extra turn. Most of the ones that I use have a guaranteed extra turn, sometimes conditional like Whisper, or, just a guaranteed extra turn like Seeker. But then I thought, you know what? I used several key champions in Relentless. And if this passive applies to any champion who wears Relentless, that basically boosts a Relentless set from an 18% chance at an extra turn to 23% chance of an extra turn. That's a nice bump. That is a significant bump. That means almost a quarter of the time you're going to be getting an extra turn. So I like this A3. I like this passive. And I thought maybe it would be worthwhile to invest a few Sacred Shards. As you can see, I've got 26, so I've got a healthy pool of Sacred Shards, and I don't know how far I'm going to go in. There is a Champion Chase tournament going on. Mine is not particularly active right now. It's not really bad. People at the top of the leaderboard, 3,000, 5,000. I'm not going to get that high on the leaderboard. But maybe if I pull, 8, somewhere in the vicinity of 8, maybe 10 at the most, that might be okay. And if I get lucky, that could potentially land me a legendary tome. As you know, I'm always on the hunt for legendary tomes. And then, of course, if I come up a little bit short, I could do a 10 pull of ancient shards, or I could just pull mystery shards to get the reward. Also, I like the immortal soulstone here as well. So yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and pull some shards. It was unexpected. I didn't expect to do a shard pull video today, but you know what? We're going to do it. So I hope you stick around for it. I am Colred. This is Colred Plays Raid Shadow Legends. Let's get started. As I've been trying to decide how many of these shards I'm actually going to pull, I am thinking about the big event that we have coming up, the Chaos Awakes event. And there's likely to be a pretty big demand for resources during that event. We're obviously going to have a fusion. We're probably going to have something like a Titan event. There's going to be a Deck of Fate. There's going to be a lot of stuff. And probably several events are going to be shard specific. So I could hold all 26 of these. I definitely did think about that. But the truth of the matter is, I think that I can probably get by. I'm collecting sacred shards at a decent clip. I can probably get by just fine. Plus, I do like this champion. I'm already theory crafting some ways to use this guy, Uzol. Yeah, it's rare that I get excited about champion. I am pretty excited about the new fusion, however. And one of the interesting things about that champion is he also has an extra turn mechanic. So potentially we've got another dwarf, and we could use the two in conjunction. So I am thinking ahead to that fusion as well. I think Uzol could be a good pairing with him, potentially. Let me know what you think in the comments if that's one of the reasons why Uzol is valuable, is the fusion we've got coming up. I haven't done my review of that fusion yet, but I will. I'll get to that. And of course, that's starting, I believe, is it on Monday? I don't even know. It's coming up soon. Coming up this week, that fusion, but we'll get to that in due time. All right, so this could be short and quick. Yeah, could be a 4-minute intro and then a 4-minute video. But all right, Sacred Shards. I don't even know if it would be a consolation prize. The other champion that I'm looking for is Kymar. Any of the new champions, I really haven't taken a look at the new legendaries for the past 2 or 3 months, but any of those would be good. Of course, if we hit a particularly, like I wouldn't mind a second Newt would be great. I wouldn't mind, there are faction guardians that could be valuable to me as well. So, I'm not really empowering legendaries at this point. I'm just not. But faction guardians, yes. Okay. So that's enough talk. Let's get down to business. See if we can get ourselves lucky and actually pull one of these 10 times champion. I haven't done it in like a year and a half. Oh, right off the... That's crazy. That was crazy. I thought we were going to hit it right away. Grohack the Bloodied. I'm trying to think if this guy is new for this account. I've had him before on an account. I think I might have a copy of this guy. But so that would be a faction guard. I don't have him built. Maybe I don't have him. I don't know. I'll have to take a look. I'm kind of liking his kit. Attacks all enemies. Each critical hit fills this champion's turn meter by 20%. That's kind of cool. That's an extra turn mechanic. It's not. It's different, but... All right. Anyway, hit gold right out of the gate. But that's not bad. Let's go ahead and pull a couple more. Be nice to get a second one. As far as epics are concerned, I don't really have any epics, I think, that I'm too worried about empowering here. All right. But that, we also got the points for that legendary there. That's really nice. Okay. Neldor, that would be an empowerment that I could get behind. That's nice. I don't mind that at all. Get a little bit of extra speed out of him, maybe. We're down to 22. So I'll probably take it down to at least 18. So I think we're going to do 4 more pulls, including this one. We got another gold. Come on, come on. Oh, Norog just got a buff. Norog just got a buff. Again, I don't remember if I have him or not. I'm going to have to go look through my my roster here to see about these guys. But places block buffs and decrease defense. That's a nice ability for Hydra, really. Decreases the damage taken by all allies by 7.5%. Wait. All allies that are under 1 or more buffs by 15%. No active buffs by 25%. Nice. That is a nice damage reduction. I like that a lot. All right, so we're going to have to think about Norog now. 2 gold. I mean, the chances of getting a third here are low. Every once in a while, you get a really nice event where you just hit a lot of times, but it's very, very rare for me to get 3 gold. So I think this is going to be my last one. Come on. One last gold. We started on gold. Let's end on gold. Come on. Maybe I should just end it on Norog. Yeah, I probably should have just ended on Norog. That would have been a start and an end on gold. But let's go ahead and see. I don't know. One of them at least is new. Okay, so Grohack is new on this account. I've had him on other accounts. I like this ally speed and dungeon aura by 24%. That's a nice aura. And this is a cool ability. It's on a 3-turn cooldown naturally, which is pretty solid. So you didn't even have to book it to get the full value there. This is a little bit frustrating. Attacks 2 times at random. Each hit has a 50% chance when booked of placing decreased speed, but I do like decreased speed. And then places weaken after the attack if it's critical, which is like, Steals the target's turn meter, though, which is kind of cool. Not a bad kit. If you have Growhawk, let me know if you use him and where you use him and how you build him. I'm kind of interested. He seems like a decent kit, but I'm not 100% sure. I've never actually built one before myself. And then, yeah, it looks like the Norog was, in fact, a duplicate. So let's go ahead to our Faction Guardians and pop him in here. Nice. And we're almost maxed out with the Skinwalker Faction Guardians. That'll be nice when we finally finish that up. Get the extra 10 speed there, which would be very good for both my Wukong and my Nishak Vermin Lord. But all right, I can't complain about that. It would have been nice to hit on the 10 times champion Uzol of the Jade, but 2 usable, potentially legendaries. Again, not moving the needle a huge amount, although Norog could be kind of interesting with his recent buff. Let me know in the comments below if you use Norog as well. Kind of interested in these champions and where their best case use might be. Also, as always, share your stories, whether you hit or missed. You know, I will celebrate with you if you hit on a good champion. And if you missed, I will commiserate with you because a double gold day, well, that's a rare event for me. Usually I'm missing. So, you know, it happens to all of us. All right, that is it for this one. Short and sweet and to the point. And yeah, glad I recorded this video tonight. That is it for me. I have been Cole Red. Thanks for hanging out. I will see you in another video soon.